Hello there. Little Obi-Wan Kenobi impression to start the podcast this week. Ross P here, the Mercurial. Just a little request from us guys at Loosely Strung. If you are enjoying the podcast, if you can give us a little rating on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen. And I'll now hand the reins back over to Callum.
This is a ticket to the party.
Evening, boys. First service. You've got to love Mohammed.
Oh! That is a moment of absolute magic from Federer.
It's Murray magic, though.
Djokovic, what are you doing? It's phenomenal.
He's got quite a large gluteus maximus.
I've never seen anything like it.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Loosely Strung Tennis Podcast. I've said it before, I've said it again. The best sports podcast on earth.
True. Although I do think it is out of this world.
Lovely.
So today we will be looking at the draw for the men's and women's singles. We will be predicting the rest of the draw because our previous predictions were absolutely horrendous.
Yeah, but predictions are a bit like pancakes. You know, the first one is just a bit out the window.
Yeah, we'll get better.
No one
We'll
likes
get
the first
better.
one.
So we'll be predicting quarterfinals onwards. So we'll be 4 from 4 wrong tomorrow.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure of it. We will get none right, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. But we're going to start with my favourite part of the week, and that is asking my good friends here what their highlight of the week was this
And Ross
week.
P.
Oh, and Ross P. Yeah, sorry, my 3 friends and Ross P.
Hey,
What?
I've got a question. Not a question. I've got a statement. A bold statement. I've got a bone to pick with you.
Oh, jeez.
Why did you not
Oh,
ask
jeez,
me
peeps.
last week? You did not. You did not ask me how I'm doing.
That was viewer request. Listener
No,
request.
That was I got a listener's message saying like we're sick of hearing him, so you just stop asking him questions.
Can you start asking how on
get
top
it.
of the world he is?
Rid of
Okay,
that.
I'll start with you then. Highlight of the week.
Highlight of the week. I've had multiple highlights this week.
I only asked you for one.
But they're all good. Spent time with my wife. We got some good hits at tennis. I won a couple of coupons. Please gamble responsibly. Got to watch that amazing Andy Murray come back.
Yeah, super.
So it's been a cracking week.
Fantastic. Any low lights? No.
I don't have low lights, mate.
All right, brilliant.
Not
Gary,
anymore.
your low life was low life. Sorry,
Jesus Christ.
Your life was just being sick for a full week, wasn't it?
couldn't
Yeah,
work.
pretty much. Highlight of the week was watching the tennis pretty much every day. But yeah, the boys at work thought I was in Australia, but guarantee I wasn't.
No.
You wouldn't get
Did
through
have problems
immigration.
down under though.
I can't believe I'm laughing at his joke. I'm actually laughing. Pricey, highlight? What is it?
I filled my car up with petrol and it came to sub £70. That's pretty cool. And she was running
means
on
a lot
She was
for-
running on empty too, man.
For those that aren't from the UK, I mean, or
See,
Inverclyde,
yeah.
like the
Yeah.
prices are a joke here.
At the height of the oil issues, I was paying £92 plus.
Wow.
I'm down £22. Not in weight, I can assure you the weight's still there. But the bank account's looking good.
Ross P, highlight of the week.
Andy Murray.
Short and
Yeah,
sweet.
there you go. That's it.
Unlike
Brilliant.
his matches.
I'd say my highlight for those interested. I was
moving on.
I was an influencer yesterday. Got to be a +1 for a wee event. Had a wee pint last night.
What we pint a Sunday?
Yeah. I actually had a pint of IPA.
Skinny, do you remember your first beer?
no.
I remember my first beer.
One beer, and that's it. I like an IPA.
Okay, we are going to get started right away and move on to the Australian Open Part 1. I know you guys will agree with me here. No better place to start. Sir Andrew Murray.
Oh yes.
Absolutely outstanding week. Some people always throw their boot in, give him a hard time, but absolutely outstanding. Like for me, he absolutely made week 1 of the Australian Open 2023.
And I think with all the coverage from every country, we're not a British bias here, Scottish bias. I think every country was like, Andy Murray, what a legend, man.
Yeah.
I got up at 5 a.m. to watch the Berrettini match. I was still watching the Berrettini match at about 11 a.m. Like, unbelievable,
wasn't
it?
I just didn't think he had it.
No. I mean, Do you know what the thing is though? But I think really, really impressive about this is at the start of the season. That's what I think is so impressive. Like, I'm actually kind of pumped up for Andy Murray to do well this year.
Hey, you guys had a go at me about putting him on my Grand Slam winners list. So
He's not going on a Grand
No,
Slam,
he's
but
Just to bring everybody
thanks
back down.
thanks for bringing us down again. I was trying to pump us up again, keep the energy going again about Andy Murray, and you just
Anti-Murray.
Stop f-bombing,
Anti-Murray.
man. God.
I stopped myself. I didn't. I don't have to bleep myself.
Just
anymore
going
in
to put
post.
my point in here. Andy Murray will win nothing this year.
Oh,
He might win
I think
it
that's
too,
But he's won the hearts of many.
he took us on a
has.
roller
That's what it's all
coaster.
about, you know?
He does every tournament though.
Oh.
And
If
he
you-
can't like win a simple match.
That was, for me, that's different. That was Andy Murray we were watching. That wasn't half a hip.
Yeah, he didn't have a simple match. He
No.
shouldn't have won either of those matches on paper, in my opinion.
No,
on paper. He should be beating Kokonakis.
No, I don't think he should.
No.
The guy's got a metal hip. He's barely won anything. Kokonakis, I know, had a long-term injury, but I feel like firepower, movement-wise, they should all be beating Andy Murray. So Andy Murray goes 10 sets in the first two matches,
I
wins
think-
both. Like,
Over,
come
like,
on,
over
man.
9 hours as well.
I
Yeah,
know,
I think
it's absolutely amazing. Well, let's focus on the Berrettini match first, because for me that was just something incredible. He goes 2 sets to love up. He gets pegged back 2-all.
Yeah.
Final set. Let's be honest.
The worst position to be in.
Who
for 2-up.
thought he was coming through that final set by Rossby?
Nah.
Honestly,
faith.
and from previous episodes, I'm a big Berrettini fan. That's when I really believed he was going to do it. Was when it comes down to having the experience and having the ability to win. I think I've said this before. Like, winners will always win, and Andy Murray is a winner.
Tell you what
I think-
though, that backhand that Berrettini hit into the net, that could see if Berrettini hit that backhand and won the point and win the match.
He'd probably be still in the
He'd
tournament,
still
I
be
reckon.
Yeah.
dominating.
Yeah, he would do Kokonakis and he would do Batista Agut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get to Batista Agut in a minute. Oh, It just boils my blood saying his stupid name.
But I
Stupido.
think you just got to give credit to Andy Murray for
Just stick
being
it in,
relevant
man.
in 2023.
Yeah,
Class, man.
absolutely unbelievable. Then, for me, I walked away. Sorry, I finished that match and I thought, that's match of the year. And then he goes and does that. Kokonakis.
That-
Holy hell, man.
That'll be top 5, and we'll be talking about this in December.
I think we'll be talking about it for years. Like, that's
I would go back and watch it.
Why?
No.
Why did they not let him take a piss?
That was ridiculous.
that is.
That is absolutely bang out of order.
I'm a stickler for the rules, right? If that's the rules, that's the rules. But it's a stupid rule, isn't it?
Aye. Oh,
Yeah.
It's a terrible rule.
I mean, we can talk about the schedule later on, but
They just
why
worked
is
out
that
beating
match
a ball.
ending at what was time like?
4:45, I think.
5 past
5 past 4 it was in the morning. 4:05.
What a ridiculous. Why?
No other sport does that.
No.
You're just going to lose fans, tennis.
Yeah.
Like, people in their home country are not. Obviously, there was a crowd there, but think of the majority of people that missed out on that. Yeah, it was fantastic for us because it's
Through the day for
it's not
us.
even it's the evening nearly for us. Like,
Yeah.
but you're losing fans all over the world. People not interested in watching stuff, especially their time at 4 in the morning.
But also, I just don't get, like, see the players. It's statistically proven it's one of the most demanding sports on the planet when you're running constantly, as in sprinting
start and
back
stop
and
and
forth,
start.
back and stop and stop. It's so demanding on your muscles, everything along those lines. To be doing that at 4 o'clock in the morning
With a metal hip.
with a metal hip is
Yeah.
just insane.
So I'm not going to stop this with a metal hip. Like, I think people genuinely forget, like, he's a half robot.
Bionic man.
Yeah, like, and what really was jaw dropping for me was when it got down to the final 2 sets, he looked incredibly fitter than Kokonakis,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which for me would be a worry for Kokonakis. Has been a guy 9 years younger. He's 26 years old, and a 35-year-old guy with a metal hip is fitter than you.
I think that more comes down to professionalism than anything.
I mean, it could
Like,
Professionalism
Andy
and a bit of
Murray-
experience,
I
I
think
think.
Andy Murray is a really good professional. Same with Djokovic, with Federer and Nadal have been. There's none of the, there's no real antics in the Andy Murray game, is there?
No.
There's no, and Kokonakis, obviously, Kyrgios has probably rubbed off on him quite a lot.
I can imagine.
I don't know if I reckon Kokonakis is fitter than Murray, but maybe just didn't manage his game as well as Murray did. And also, there's probably a wee bit of mind games going on in the Murray camp when he's limping over his seat.
Yeah, and then he
he's jumping up out and sprinting to the baseline.
What was it he said in his interview after it? He's got a big heart.
Big heart and
Something else.
My
not a big something else. We've all been there.
Maybe we've all seen it.
What?
And his X-ray.
Not remember Andrew Murray get the X-ray hit and his cock was in it.
Well.
All right, Pricey, cut your promo on Batista Agut. Go on.
I'm sorry to all the Spanish listeners that we've got. Dreadful guy, man. I was honestly, I don't usually say this, I was quite happy to see him go out. I didn't appreciate his roar at the end of the match.
Very frosty handshake.
It was a very, very frosty.
It was. I feel
Just
like I've seen that
I think
before.
Murray's just that competitive way where like losing sucks, and do you know we've all been, let's be honest, every one of us have been there. Where you go up to, especially myself, you go up to shake someone's hand and you're like, you just kind of tap and walk away.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
but
sometimes you make them mistakes and you're like, oh, well, I shouldn't have done that. But heat of the moment, like you're not really caring about the other guy winning. You just want off the go up.
The thing I thought was weird was it was Batista Agut that kind of just done it really
Him that
quickly.
looked away.
But he won. Like
He's just ugly, man. It's just his tennis is
Nice-
ugly,
nice
his
personal
face is
attack.
ugly, and I just struggle to enjoy a player like that. And I look at that and I think he was probably like the easiest match Murray had.
nonsense.
No, I think he's the worst for Murray because
He's
so
Murray's
consistent.
he's
First
Murray's
round, Murray
kryptonite
beats him.
though. No, he
could
First
doesn't.
round, Murray beats him.
He could have. I just think that
But there's no
he's just,
firepower
Batista
behind
Agut's maybe
Batista
just
Agut.
not a nothing player because he's obviously outstanding, but he's got no real weapons. Like, he was like when Murray lost, Batista Agut was not winning it. Like, he's got no chance. So kind of just took something away from the tournament for me. Final question about Andy Murray I was going to ask the boys is, what do you expect for the rest of the year after this? Can he finish top 20? Can he win a 250 or a Masters 1000? Can he reach the second round of a Slam? Just what you think, top of your head. Obviously, Ross P, you're going to say
All of the above.
and win a Slam.
Yeah, well, I've got him down to win Wimbledon. As long as he gets his seed in it, I think if he gets seeded at a Slam, he could go deep there. But I think I might have said at the end of last year, he was going to be the 8th man in the end of the year finals.
Wow.
So I think
Anyone
We'll
else?
see it.
Watch
The-
someone out just
I
before-
think he could make a run at Wimbledon, maybe get a quarter final.
I think that'd be
Yeah,
outstanding.
nothing at the French Open. They won't do anything on clay.
I don't think he'll play.
Will he
I
play
don't
the
think he
French
should
Open?
play.
He'll
I don't
play,
think
but he
should
won't do
play.
anything.
I don't think he will play.
Yeah, I would love just. I think for everyone involved, if you could just get to quarter-final, semi-final Wimbledon, imagine just
Winning Queens for me would be
Yeah.
huge.
unbelievable.
My
Like,
only concern is that was his draw. If he beat Batista Agut, he had a relatively decent draw through to the semis.
Yeah, he's not going to get that
Or the
again.
quarters, he'd have maybe
Yeah.
had a tough one, but
I don't know. Okay, we're going to move on just now. Nadal, that's what we're going to look at. He had an early exit to Mackenzie McDonald. The injury,
You okay, Pricey?
I know, like we'll try and go over these quite fast because we spent a lot of time on Andy Murray. But the injury doesn't look good. It looks like, and I don't want to be harsh about it, it just looks
I can
like
take
every
it.
time he's over one injury, there's now another. And I get it because, I mean, that guy has been through some physical hell. Like, he puts himself through hell for the last 20
He
years.
has. He's got the slams he's got because of what he does.
Yeah.
And I don't believe he's more talented than Djokovic or Federer. I think he's just more of a fighter and gives more than both of them.
I mean, he is incredibly
it.
talented.
Oh, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
like you
And
know,
statistically number one at the moment, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I think
It's
he
his
always
commitment.
knew his style was going to kill him playing.
I think that injury just sums up that this is going to be his last year on tour. I think it's got that vibe about it that he's going to probably pick and choose a lot more, and he wants
he's
that.
already doing that though.
I know, but I mean, I think even more so. I think he is
What, like one tournament and then the slam?
yeah.
really. I think so.
Or
he
he'll
barely
play
did more than
see how from like March onwards is like a few Masters,
The clay
thousands,
ones, yeah.
and then the clay ones. I think he'll play most of them. He'll play Barcelona and stuff like that, and then play. And I don't know if he'll play Wimbledon.
I think it's pointless for him to play Wimbledon.
Although he got to the semi last year and was cruising and got an injury. I think he did beat Kyrgios as well.
I don't rate him as highly on grass. No. It just doesn't suit him. I think Djokovic will walk Wimbledon.
I think Nadal's at that point in his career, he's like almost kind of like 2 years behind Federer, where his body's just starting to maybe tell him slow down a bit here.
It's quite
Like,
sad to watch it as well.
It is sad because he is one of, if not the great three of
I do
of
believe he's the
tennis.
greatest of all time.
And I'm sure loads of people agree with you, and some won't, but that's the argument that it is. But it does look like it's calling time. But one man it's not, whose career isn't calling time on him, or he's not calling time on his career, Novak Djokovic.
he's injured as well, isn't he?
What?
He's injured as well, isn't he?
As the
Honest
kids
to
say,
God.
honk.
Yeah, that's the biggest. I'm sorry, that's the biggest lie in the world, because that match today was probably the closest to perfection a tennis match has ever been played.
He said he couldn't feel his hamstring at all
He
today.
said he was better today.
Yeah, he was like, there was no
That's
pain.
what
That
happens when you
always
win,
happens.
isn't it? So when he loses a set, it goes behind. He starts crying. Oh, my hamstring's so. Then he wins, and he's like, nah, no pain.
It was the
Come on,
set
man.
point against Dimitrov when he went down, and you were like, oh, and he's absolutely fine. You're like,
It's
"Come on."
difficult because I think what Djokovic needs is someone like Kyrgios when he didn't like him was to take the set off him and just be like up screaming in his face like, get it fucking up you. Sorry, get it flipping up you, man. Like, he needs someone to peg him back. Like, your games aren't going to work on me. But everyone just respects him so much.
He actually says he doesn't have a relationship at all with Dimino. In the interview after the match, he said like
saw that.
Dimino had a go at him last year about not being vaxxed, and he said he doesn't have any relationship with Dimino, like, and a few other players. Respects him as a tennis player, but that's as far as it goes.
Courier asked him, why did you beat him so convincingly? And he just said, because I wanted to. So that just tells you a bit.
His interview was it was quite good today
I
as
mean,
well. I
like,
forgot Tsitsipas had made a slam final
Yeah,
as well, and
yeah.
he beat him.
That's a bit, and that might see Tsitsipas sees that. I think that gets under his skin.
And he'll
I
put
mean,
out some.
Tsitsipas looked. I know he
He'll tweet
obviously beat
something
Sinner,
about
but he did look good. He
Yeah,
looked really good.
I thought the two of them played well
I'm
today.
hanging my hopes on Tsitsipas now.
So
Although-
I can't believe I'm saying this as well, but I actually hope he gets the final, because although I do think Hashanov and Korda could both cause an upset. Korda had match points against Djokovic the week before.
Yeah, Korda's playing
Hashanov
well.
was playing well.
Yeah.
Like, really. And I was saying to you guys before the pod here, because none of us here are really big Hashanov fans, but I'm growing on him. He's kind of, he's growing on me, sorry. I'm sure he's not sitting his head going, that Callum Price is alright, by the way. He's grown on me, and he seems to have chilled out. He's mellowed out. I quite like the chain hanging out. He's quite cool. Like, backwards hat. I like it.
Yeah, what did he win? Like 14 games in a row against Nishioka?
That's pathetic. Yeah. And that leads me to my next point is what has happened to the so-called up. Obviously, Tsitsipas is there, but where's the rest of these like chasing pack of Medvedev and stuff like that? Like, what is going on? Zverev out early, Medvedev out early, Berrettini out early. I think Sinner in his head thinks he should be winning that. Like,
but did you see his stats against the top 10?
Oh, he's
1 to
Sinner's
16.
Incredible, isn't it?
1 to
Yeah,
16.
it's just not great.
But Felix, like, come on, that is what an opportunity for him. So what's happening to these boys? Like, what's, in your opinion, what's happening? That is there a mental block?
Yes.
Yeah,
And why
Exactly what it
is
is.
there a mental block?
because you
After
go
you,
first.
Gary, answer.
Right, okay. I think the guys that were classed as next gen, like the first group that came through, your Tsitsipas, your Medvedevs, that kind of crowd, they still had Djokovic, Nadal, Federer, still giving them pastings when they were breaking through. So I think they've still got that wee mental block, whereas these younger guys now coming through, your Runas, your Alcarazes, even Yannick Sinner to an extent, although his stats are terrible, they don't have that as much. So they think, actually, no, we can beat these guys.
How can you become the next best thing if you're still playing against your idols?
That's true.
Like,
Yeah,
how
That's
can
true.
I, think
I mean,
that's what
even
you've tried to
look
say
at
there,
Casper
obviously.
Ruud. Obviously, he had a shocker of a tournament. But there's so many. I do think the tournament really, really missed Alcaraz.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, massively.
Like, massively missed him. The whole draw changes, and you'd be expecting the way everything's ended. You'd be expecting Alcaraz and Djokovic final.
Who was the lucky
Yeah.
loser that went through again? There was a lucky loser that made it.
Michael Mo.
Michael Mo. He beat,
Mo.
Because then,
yeah, he beat.
and he got a result though. didn't
Zverev? Did
He beat Zverev.
he
I
beat
think.
Zverev, and he went around further as well.
Hechka beat him, I think.
Finally, we were talking about. Not finally. Sorry, we've got two more things in the men's draw to speak about before we move on. The first one Ben Shelton.
Wow, been waiting on this.
Yeah. Can we just apologise for a mistake we made last week?
Yeah, that
I
is
will
not
not-
Tracy Austin.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that is
I
Brandon.
bet you she wishes it was.
And I'll
Sorry,
not
Brandon
be
Holt.
taking any stick on that because I said no.
No, you didn't know who Tracy Austin was.
That is
So I
true.
did. So I didn't.
Yeah,
So okay, I
still
didn't say
need
yes
stick.
then.
Okay, but like, what? How does this happen? As this is Emma Raducanu-esque.
Yeah,
This guy's cut. Like he's not. He's played something like 16 tour matches or something.
Never left America.
Never left America. He was a college player until the summer last year,
He still could be a college player, but he chucked his amateur status.
and he's
to
in the
turn pro.
quarterfinal, and he's playing. I mean, like, if I know Tommy Paul's a fantastic player, and I actually hope Tommy Paul wins the whole thing because I quite like Tommy Paul as a guy. But like Ben Shelton, how do you do this? Like, is it because no one knows what he's capable of, and you can't really practice for it?
Yeah.
I think this is the one and only tournament he has where it's like no pressure, go on, crack on with it. No one really knows your game. No one can really suss you out. There's no really footage of you out there, like a lot of footage on you. I think that's his only chance. So I think fair play, you've taken it, mate. Like,
Yeah.
crack on with it.
The college system in the States is mental. You see the amount of kids that go from here that are insane, and like Cam Norrie and stuff came through it. Like,
And-
it's just a conveyor belt of talent. Like, we don't have that here.
And I think that it's kind of showing right now. The US
Dominance.
Not bad.
They're
Yeah.
starting to come back, aren't they? And obviously, you
but-
saw TFO and Fritz again has bottled the tournament. I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
Fritz in the US Open should have made that final. I know he went out first round, but the way the draw opened up for his side, he should be in the final. The way it's opened up for him here, he should be in the semis or the quarters.
Yeah. Was it not something like 9 of the last 32 were American?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, it was
Mental.
like the most since 2000 or something. Absolutely outstanding performance from the Americans. Quickly before we move on, Netflix curse. Wow.
Wow.
Huge.
Actually just wiped everyone out, didn't it?
Yeah, good on them as well.
I mean,
Need some characters on that. Where's Ostapenko when you need her? She's the ultimate character.
She's winning this.
I hope so.
we'll get on to
Because everybody
Ostapenko.
hates her, and I think, what about her? Oh, no, I'll speak about her in a minute.
I
But the
love her, man. I think
Netflix
she's
curse,
brilliant.
we obviously spoke about it last week. We were averagely, if we were all Rotten Tomatoes, we'd be sitting about 55%, I reckon, for enjoyment of it. I think it will get better. They're obviously following Holger Rune, which is interesting, who had an absolute shocker today. Sorry to just bring it up. He had an absolute shocker. 5-2 up final set.
7-4 as well.
7
Yeah.
5 love.
6-2, 7-4.
Five love up in the-
5 in the tiebreak, then 7-3 up in the tiebreak, and loses it on
a shocking net
How many
cord.
net cords? This
Oh,
tournament?
no.
The worst match of the tournament. The worst 5-setter I've ever watched.
He
Error.
had double the amount of errors as Rublev. I don't know what was wrong with Holger Rune, and I tell you what doesn't help. He had no prep coming in. One match. That doesn't help.
No.
Nah.
Doesn't help. But no, I'm disappointed because I thought him and Djokovic would have been fantastic. You'd have moved Djokovic about. Rublev, I don't know if
Rublev
he's
will
beat
roll over.
Djokovic before, but I cannot see.
Nope.
I can see Djokovic sitting there being like, that is perfect. For me.
He'll just pick him off.
Yeah. He'll just
Crazy
wait
days.
and he'll implode Rublev as he does every round. He goes, whether he goes through or not, he has a wee implosion every time. It'll be something stupid like a missed forehand. He's smacking his head with the racket. Yeah, did he?
So what's it like? Well, when we're talking about the men's draw here,
Yeah,
what's your final?
predictions.
What's your final and what's your winner?
Well, I think that Hashanov will beat Korda, although I want Korda to win the full thing.
I think Korda might make the final.
So I'm going to go Hashanov and Tsitsipas, and then Tsitsipas in the final. The bottom half, I'm going to go Djokovic and Tommy Paul. And I think, even though Tommy Paul, there's something about him, Djokovic is going to beat him. I actually think it'd be worse for Djokovic getting Ben Shelton.
Yeah,
I think Shelton will win. I think Shelton will be the one that plays Djokovic.
And I think it'll be Djokovic, Tsitsipas. And do you know what? I'm actually, for the first time in my life, I really hope Tsitsipas wins.
Do you reckon it's going to be one of those ones where it will be a Djokovic Tsitsipas? Tsitsipas will race to a 2-love lead and sets and ball it.
Yeah.
That's what happened in
Do
the
you,
final.
any of
French,
you
wasn't
want to try and get a hold of one of Tsitsipas' signed pictures?
No.
I'm going to start doing that in the local tournaments, by the way.
I really liked it.
Do you know what? I'm
liked it.
actually going to go bold. I'm going to say Korda v Lehechka in the semi-final because he has been on the best run of.
Him as well. He could be a surprise. Nobody knows it.
He's only
Yeah.
21.
And I'm going to say say Djokovic v Tommy Paul in our semi-final, Djokovic v Korda in the final, and it's an absolute
Pasting.
Pasting.
Ross P, any predictions for the final?
I was basically going to agree with Skinny, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Djokovic.
Korda
I would be
Djokovic.
really up for Korda winning it. I'd be great. Do you know what? I really want an American to win it because I think if an American wins, the game grows.
Yeah.
Oh, massively.
If America likes a sport, that sport grows.
Very true.
Pickleball.
So I would love if America decided to endorse the podcast, and yeah, we would grow as well.
Sorry, can I just get-
Pickleball
can we
shouldn't
just-
grow though. So loud.
Okay,
Pickleball
we're going
is.
to move on just now.
I hate it.
We're going to look at the women's straw. So, Ross P, if you can do your magic and put it up on the screen in front of us, we'll show you the screen at some point in a later date.
2 hours later.
I know he moves so
Okay,
slow,
can you just time how quick that was? Was that under 5 seconds?
We had to
Price?
pause the
edited it,
podcast for 25 minutes there. while I tried
That was
to
quite
find
good, wasn't it?
But no,
Seamless.
we're going to start with Raducanu against Coco Gauff because I actually really enjoyed the game, and I just wanted to figure out people's thoughts and feelings on whether this is a potential rivalry in the future, and if Raducanu can not strive to bigger and better things after being a slam winner, but can she go back to a top 20 level player?
I know it's only one match. Yes. That was the first time I've seen Raducanu since the US Open when I'm like, I know I said her name wrong there. Genuinely think that she's going to be a top player. I just think that her v Goff in maybe like 3 years' time, you're going to see that match over and over again.
Is that going to be like the Serena Sharapova?
It could be something
Did they
like that.
not only play like 3 times or something like that?
No.
Yeah, I genuinely think
just
women's-
Williams won like 20 times in a row. or
I think
something.
women's tennis is heading for a big 3. To be on
What's the
deck,
big 3? Swift.
Raducanu, Goff.
I think Sakkari's better than Raducanu and Goff.
Sakkari's a wee bit older though.
But
I mean, the young ones coming through, they're all like
Fair
19,
enough,
21.
Fair enough. It was certainly a good match. I'll be honest, I didn't think Raducanu would get to the second round, and I had to eat my humble pie. And then after that, I was getting this, she's going to beat Goff, she's going to beat Goff. I didn't ever think she would beat Goff, but gave her a much closer run for her money than I thought she ever would have. Which I think is actually, if you're Raducanu, you're not going home disappointed, in my opinion.
chance.
I think you're happy with
And
how she's
coming in with an
performed.
injury, she could barely walk like the year before.
I think she's happy with where she is, if I'm being honest. Which makes me think, yes, she can push it. See if she got up your devastating devastating result. Sorry, I could have seen her walking away for a wee while.
I think she still needs to get not fitter, but her body needs to be physically better. She breaks down all the time, and it's not good. And I get she's young, and if I can imagine if you threw me like into when I was 19 into the tour, I would have been injured all the time. Like people develop at different times in their life, you know.
Yeah.
I'd have been tiny and scrawny, and I think I'd have been injured constantly. So it makes a difference. I think that she's got a coach with her that's now going to obviously work on fitness wise. Hopefully she sticks to the same coach, 'cause I think that's also a major issue.
Yep.
Do
But I don't think she can do well.
it would be beneficial, I'm just thinking this here now, for her to maybe miss out? Like, I don't think she's going to do anything in the clay season, if I'm honest. I'd be surprised. I don't think she moves very well.
She only played
Um,
clay for like the first time last year.
Yeah, she's
I
fine. That was the first time she
I
got
would
out
play
there.
Roland Garros because there's always a chance to pick up points if she has a good run.
That's true. But what I was going to
But
say
I would definitely for the next 2 months focus on her body being physically fit.
I would say, if I'm Raducanu just now, I missed the whole clay season. I work in the gym, practice courts, straight into grass. Like from now, straight into grass.
I would definitely play a few.
Yeah, the grass
Yeah.
season's
Yeah,
too
and-
short.
aye.
It's way too
I don't
short.
know. I just think
Although I do think she can win Wimbledon.
Yeah, she could.
At some point in her career, she can win Wimbledon.
Yeah, she definitely needs to take a leaf out of Andy Murray's book on the kind of strength and conditioning side. The
100%.
work ethic.
He was the same.
Yeah,
he was too big though.
But
For a while, remember when he
He
came
was
in with Ivan Lendl, he was a lot leaner. When he won Wimbledon, he was lean.
Yeah.
But then going on the other side of the match and looking at Coco Gauff, I think
Sorry, I'm just remembering Coco Gauff.
You say
because obviously I personally slated her tennis at the end of last year, and I know
Rightly though,
yeah, and the fact that she lost to Ostapenko, you can say that's a bad result or a difficult result, whatever you want to
Yeah.
say, but
well, Ostapenko's a
I
slam winner.
do think
She is.
again Coco Gauff is again going to be, I think, US Open I'll be looking at her to be like, right, go make that extra step, go to that semi-final.
I think people forget she's 18.
Yeah, she's been on the tour since she was, what, 13, 14?
14, 15, so she's been here for a while. Ostapenko is definitely one of them players that if you're in her half, you just hope she goes out.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because she is, one, a nightmare, and two, incredible for drama.
Yeah.
A drama queen is what I'd like to call her.
Loves it.
Yeah, she is just
See when she was,
unmissable.
see when she was shouting about the automatic line judge, right? And James Keothong was
My man.
killing himself laughing. I'm just like, she's the one I want on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said it last week.
And do you know, but we can talk about
Pure
all the
entertainment.
antics and all her chat, and we've heard the things about Wozniacki saying she doesn't want to hit with her. She hits the ball like a bloody train.
She tanks it, man, doesn't
love
she?
it.
I love it, yeah.
I actually love it.
That's what I actually enjoyed about Raducanu at the start, was she just tanked everything. They were saying that Raducanu, out of all the British players on the tour, had like an average of like the third biggest forehand of all British players active on the tour. Not British women, British players.
Aye.
Like that's incredible. Like it was something like that. I don't know if that's the exact stat, but it was something huge like that. And that's what I like about Ostapenko and that run that she went on at Roland Garros and she went on to win it. I know it was a good few years ago now, but like, why not? Like, she'll be sitting thinking to herself, like, why not? Other than all the line calls are wrong, but why not?
Well, she's coming up against the Wimbledon champion in the quarterfinal.
Yeah.
Rebecca.
And I want to talk about the Wimbledon champion, Rebecca, because
Under the radar since then.
She-
She's sort
Very
of been
unfair,
written off
actually,
with
how
people.
she's been treated for
Yeah.
the last 6 or 7 months.
yeah, but she beat Swiatek and actually, I cannot say her name right.
No, you got it.
That was
Said it.
spot on.
Oh,
You usually go
Swiatek.
Swiatek or something.
Swiatek. I think she. It's going to sound mental saying it out loud. I think she's glad she kind of lost.
Just to have
I
a
think
break.
she just needed the pressure off her for a little bit.
Oh, she's about to defend an incredible amount of points.
What was it?
Yeah.
45 matches in a row she won.
Aye,
Yeah.
She's
Restart the fire a wee bit.
She just the hype around her before the tournament was just too much. She was like super odds-on favourite. Like she had lower odds than Djokovic. That's mental.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
There's one girl I want to talk about, and I'll be honest, I can't see her name up here, so Rossby, I might need you to scroll.
Was it
Um,
under a second I did that there? Yep, it was.
It
There you
was.
go.
Is she out already at this point of the tournament?
Could you tell us who you're looking for?
I can't remember her name, if I'm being
Oh,
honest
this
with
is
you.
great.
This is
But
great.
she had the headband, and we all know who I'm talking about.
The Russian girl?
18-year-old, the Russian girl.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like college
yeah,
girl.
she was absolutely
Unbelievable.
fantastic.
Yep.
She played
Sakharine.
against Sakharine,
Oh, Sakharine was raging, wasn't she?
and that was entertaining.
That was-
because that was when Sakharine was shouting at her, if she screams in my face one more time.
Why did you become Dracula?
I don't know.
Chanel, man.
I don't know. Greece, Dracula, it's easy.
That's Schneider.
Well done, Price. That's a great shout from you, Price.
Another American call. Or she's Russian,
She's still
but
in college.
Yeah,
Still
Diana
in
And
College.
now
college.
she's got to make the decision.
Is
She
it
should
going
go
to
back
get to
on
a
that.
point where the college system dominates tennis?
Like
It
the way American football does.
It
Yeah.
should. It
Yeah.
really
It
should.
looks like it's going to become that way, which is sad for other nations. And it's a shame in that picture she's got no head.
what the problem is, though, as
Good
soon as they
podcasting there.
Yeah.
Talk about a picture that's
Whoa,
not
whoa,
up
whoa.
as
the
soon
picture
as
up, we'll put the
they
picture up.
take any prize money, their amateur status goes. So they have to either drop. They
Fully
can't.
fund
They don't
themselves.
need to drop out of college, but they are no longer eligible to take part in college events.
Tell you
So
what,
they,
she was a big 18-year-old.
yeah, she was.
Like,
She was
big.
Jackie.
Yeah, she'd been hitting that
talking
gym.
about another bigger player who's quite solid. Can we talk about potential the two-time champion Pegula? Because she's got to be favourite in the top half.
You think I'm going
She's-
Rybakina's favourite? She's
I'm
got
having
the best
Ostapenko.
serve.
I'm
Oh,
taking
wow.
Ostapenko.
Well, let's predict right now because I've got something to read out after it. So let's predict right now.
Oh, Ostapenko's never made it past what is it? Never made it past the quarterfinals in how many years? Is that what you're going to say to me?
No, I've got something else to read out. Totally off
I'll
topic.
have Ostapenko to beat Azarenka and play the final.
Wow.
No way.
I'm going to go Rybakina from the top half.
I'm going Ostapenko as well.
From that top half there, I'm taking Pegula.
Ooh, I'm taking Rebecca.
Okay, and from the bottom half, I like the Donna Vekic story.
Yep.
She's kind of came back from long-term injury, blah,
She's
blah,
cool.
blah. She's got Pam Shriver in her box, which is fantastic. I do think that more women should try and work with more ex-women superstars. That's something that doesn't really
Agreed.
happen. Obviously,
Yep.
Andy Murray was with Amelie Mauresmo before, and it was reasonably successful, but they obviously stopped for personal reasons. I feel like more women should try and bank on your Justine Henin, your
Kim
Sharon
Clijsters.
Do you know we-
Kim Clijsters,
See, you
etc.
get
Bartley.
Hingis, if Martina Hingis came in and started coaching, that'd be brilliant.
Do you want to know a wee fun fact about Amelie Mauresmo?
Yes.
She was a player that I took to the absolute top of Virtua Tennis 2009 on the Wii.
Oh my god.
Virtua
Wow.
Tennis
But
2009.
the bottom
That's
half,
something we
the
don't have
bottom
as a
half for
good
me,
tennis game.
Virtua Tennis
Is
was great.
Sabalenka.
Sabalenka
Yeah, I
has
agree.
been
She's been
What
phenomenal though.
bloody ball she hits the ball as hard, if not harder, than most of the men.
See when she was playing Bencic in the first set looked like she was mixing it up, hitting all over the place, and it was just, I thought Bencic could actually beat her here, and then Sabalenka just went, nah, I'm just gonna start hitting lines. I'm just gonna hit the biggest ball going. I'm just gonna dominate you, and it's just like, wow, huge.
It's incredible, and actually the women's draw has been superb.
Yeah.
Because
Much better than
Fiontek is gone, and it's a reasonably strong. It's like the comeback story you wanted, Gary. There's there's lots of people back in it that you wouldn't think. You wouldn't think Ostapenko would be there, Donna Vekic would be there. You wouldn't think Pliskova would probably be there. So fair play. I mean, she had to qualify for the
Azarenka.
tournament before.
Azarenka as well.
Definitely
yeah.
Azarenka.
Pliskova though is playing Lynette. That's definitely not going to be Lynette.
Pliskova.
No, it's like
It's
She is-
Pliskova though.
Yeah, but she is 30 years old, and it's her first Grand Slam quarter-final, so
Seeded 30th too.
No, it's Lynette.
No,
Yes.
no,
Sorry,
Pliskova's
that's
like...
Hey, we'll educate.
But
the
I
readers.
actually do think Pugula with Coco Gauff's got a good chance in the
the doubles
ladies
as well.
doubles, so she could get
A double?
A double,
Wow.
which
Okay,
would be
I'm going to
huge.
move on quickly to probably our last thing just now. And it's a tweet from Taylor Fritz.
Oh,
Okay.
I've not seen this. This is
So
new.
it is on... it's about Novak Djokovic.
Okay.
Okay.
I've not seen it.
Jose Morgado has tweeted that there are some strong words about from Djokovic. He says, only my injuries are questioned. When some other players are injured, they are the victims. But when it's me, I am faking it. It's very interesting. I don't feel I need to prove anything to anyone. And Taylor Fritz has quote tweeted it with, my opinion, nobody really cares. My opinion, nobody really cares about. 80% of players are always dealing with something. Severity levels differ, but everyone is honestly a little banged up. The media only ever focus on the top guys. That's why they get more attention. Also, some players are more vocal talking about injuries than others. I don't think people fake injuries, sorry. I do think sometimes players stretch the severity of the injury as it depressurizes them in difficult situations.
Well, that's not
a straight dig at Djokovic.
I don't know.
It's a subtle dig. We'll say it's that.
He says I'm not taking shots here, but for me,
That's a shot.
that is him saying that there,
That's
in a roundabout way, there could be a little bit of.
There might
And,
be.
and I would not be surprised if every single tennis player in the tour thinks that Djokovic is putting on a little bit. But for me, that's not a dig, but that's a little.
It's a suggestion.
Read,
Yeah.
read between the lines, lads.
Yeah.
But I don't get, like, Taylor, you've just been absolutely dumped out in poor form in the Australian Open. You're just going to put a target in your back for your next match against Djokovic.
I'm worried
in the
about
rest of the
Taylor
time.
Fritz.
No, he'll be fine.
I'm worried about him. I don't know how far he'll get in tournaments anymore. And he was.
You'll not do well on grass.
I tell you what, I did predict an American would be the next new Slam winner. Give me that.
Sepp Korda.
But I don't know. It wasn't the ones that were left in. But I just think that he might start to fade a little. But we'll see.
But on the women's side, quickly to reverse back to it, who's winning it?
Pugula.
Pagula?
Ostapenko.
Ostapenko.
Right back in her.
I'm on the Rebecca train as well.
Yeah.
I'm all in on Sabalenka then. How am I the only one on Sabalenka here?
I just think right back in her is
I'm just trying to have some
Slam
fun, Ross, to
champion
be
already.
honest.
She's been there, done that.
Been
Yeah.
there, done that. Experience counts. Anyhow, lads, it's been an absolute pleasure.
It
today.
has been. I've
And
enjoyed this.
We've flown through this today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please follow. Please like on Spotify. And yeah, follow on the socials at Loosely Strung TP. Try and make us grow as much as we can. If you are enjoying it, please let us know. Send us some messages if you want stuff spoken about on the podcast. We've already have I had a few. That is superb. And if you want us to change things up a little, and let us know what you want to hear. From me and all the boys, enjoy the rest of the Australian Open, and we will see you all on Monday.
After
Hit
our
it, Pricey.
predictions,
Cheerio.
after
Hit
our
it,
predictions
Pricey.
have been wrong.
After that.
As usual.
Bow, chicka, bow, chicka, bow, chicka, bow, chicka, bow, chicka, bow, 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 bow. That was cool, wasn't it?